need to listen. You need to listen. You need to listen. Hold on.
You need to listen. Steps Gaming back. My light just went out. Funny enough. But I'm going to start. I'll fix that in a minute. I'm going to start pulling our panel members today for the video game buyer's guide. First off, back to the channel for his first time in over a year. It's Papa Pete, the old ass gamer. How you doing, Papa Pete?
I'm doing well, Steps. What's going on? Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Happy holidays, whatever you celebrate.
Yes, it must be cold up there in New Brunswick.
It is. You know what? It was about 60 day before yesterday. It's down to about freezing again now, but it's been cold. Yes,
you got 60.
Snow. We get rid of it all. Oh wow. Yeah, I just had a big warm front blow through and melt all the snow and give us lots of rain and knock out the power in a lot of places, but knock on wood, not for me. So,
yep,
right on.
And we got everybody's favorite virtual reality gamer. He's huge in virtual reality. It's Brooklyn Menace.
I'm massive in virtual reality. People just enjoy me in virtual reality, not actual reality. Steps. By the way, Steps, you look better since the light went out. Leave it that way.
Leave it that way?
Yeah.
Okay. I'll leave it that way then. Sounds good. And next we have famous movie producer Zodwriter.
Hello.
Who is currently producing a movie, One Punch Dan.
Yes, absolutely.
Is it video game related?
Well, I am working on a tie-in video game for the movie as well, so there's that. But
there's that. Okay. All right. Well, that would be good. Then we could put it in the holiday gift-giving guide, right?
Next year.
Next year. So, today's purpose of today's stream is that I did a gift-giving guide last year, and I want to do a gift-giving guide and like kind of get away from just home arcade stuff. Although I think I have a few things I definitely will always bring up because I just love them. Like Zoltar, for example. Zoltar's in the thumbnail. Zoltar will be a recommendation. But talk about some hot games or some games that maybe you want, or maybe something under the radar, or that maybe you can get to somebody that doesn't have as much money. Making positivity out of low funds. That's the slogan I got here today because, Christmas is a little tight this year. We got War444 in the chat. He says, yo. So, I thought we'd start out real quick. We could talk about the Video Game Awards, and there's some games in the Video Game Awards that definitely people should consider for Christmas. Obviously, I have mine. What do you think, Zod? Did you watch the Game Awards? Is there anything that caught your interest?
Honestly, I did not. I am a retro gamer at heart, and all I play really is retro games. I'm not really into anything modern unless it's VR, like Brooklyn Menace over here. I love VR, and I'm in it a lot, but I don't really play a lot of modern stuff. Now, I was thinking about playing the Indiana Jones game, but I just right now don't want to invest the time, so I'm not going to.
Do you have Game Pass?
No.
Okay. And I know,
but I do have what's that thing? Ant Stream on the Xbox, and it has tons and tons and tons of retro games and modern retro games, and it's a lot of fun. So when I do occasionally fire up my Xbox, I will, play on Ant Stream. For sure.
Today's topic is great games or gaming gifts you could give for the holidays or get for the holidays or ask for, right?
Yeah.
Papa Pete, do you play any modern games, or is there anything from the Video Game Awards that caught your eye?
No. And as a matter of fact, I found out the Video Game Awards were on yesterday when I saw umpteen YouTube videos like RGT. Sean had a video of covering and Zach. Guys that I'm friends with from down in Too Many Games and stuff, and that's my knowledge because I'm not into these modern games like N64 and everything that's come since then. I like the older stuff. So
okay, where's your cutoff?
My cutoff? N64.
Yeah,
That's
N64.
modern?
N64.
Yeah, if you consider that modern,
man.
you're really retro.
That's modern gaming for me, man. I mean, I like it. Everything.
Papa Pete, I'm with you, man. I'm staring at my Sega Saturn right now. I'm like, yo, this is.
Well, there was over 1 million live viewers watching the Game Awards yesterday.
It's amazing.
They did announce, like, if you're into retro stuff, Sega is really starting to take their old titles and revamp them, and they dropped by surprise that they're doing a new Virtua Fighter.
Yeah, cool. I heard about that.
Did that tie into these Virtual Fighters they announced today that were basically remakes of Virtual Fighter 5, or is that a completely separate Virtual Fighter?
This is totally from the ground up, a new Virtua Fighter.
And so it's going to be better than the Virtual Fighter that they gave away for free a couple years ago.
Yeah, this one looks like it still has that Virtua Fighter look to it, but the graphics are way more modern.
Yeah, I saw that coming out in January's Virtua Fighter 5, like a remake for Steam, and that looked pretty good. I might look into that. Obviously, they have the Virtua Fighter 5 on PlayStation 4, but the PlayStation 4 kind of got commandeered by my kids. I only caught the tail end of the Game Awards. There were 1.2 million people watching when I watched it.
Crazy.
But the games that stood out that were like one of them that I've been preaching about for a while, which is Metaphor ReFantazio.
Yeah.
It won like the best storyline, I think. And then it had a couple other ones too. I'm trying to remember what they were. I know music went to Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. And I know
no surprise there.
Yeah, well, the music in Metaphor ReFantazio is amazing too, and I think that of the 6 people that were games that were up there for Game of the Year, the 2 that like really kind of stood out from all these, not only the awards but reviews, things like that, were Astrobot and Metaphor ReFantazio, and I kind of felt it was down to those 2. I'm not surprised it went to Astrobot, because Astrobot has a larger audience base, because it could go.
Not only that, from
families.
someone that played it, as I was playing it, I was calling it. I was saying, this is Game of the Year. This is going to be Game of the Year, and it wound up being Game of the Year. Not because I called it, but because that game is probably one of the best platforming games to come out in recent memory. It even can topple a good Mario game on Nintendo. And I think another reason why it took Game of the Year is because it touched on your nostalgia. If you have been playing PlayStation for years, it's like they didn't miss a thing in that game. They just had little throwbacks to everything, find all the little bots that were famous characters from all these classic PlayStation titles, and the game was just fantastic. And it's like every level you would play, you'd be like, how could it get any better than this? And it just kept getting better. Amazing boss fights, just crazy visuals, and just fantastic gameplay. And you just have so much fun while you're playing it. You don't want to stop.
I'm going to share a quick video on Astrobot just so everybody.
And the music is great too.
Be on the same page. The music sounds a lot of fun. Here's the video.
It just makes you happy, Steps. Even when I switch over before the game goes on, when the tune kicks in, it just makes you feel good.
All right, you get the point. But just
So
I didn't get the point. Show it again, Steps. I didn't get it the first time. I'm just kidding.
okay.
Look at
okay.
the creativity in that game.
Yeah.
And there's so many levels. There's so many hidden things to find. I'm trying to 100% it. So I'm still playing it.
It looks like to me it's out Mario'd Mario. Like it took the approach that Mario is a dated franchise and made it more modern, more appealing to today's standards. And from what I've seen, I can't play it. I don't have a PS5. I have an Xbox and a Nintendo Switch, but it makes me want a PlayStation 5. And there's not many games that have done that. Not many games have said, okay, I need a PS5. But I look at that and I go, that looks like it may be the very best platformer game that I've ever seen. And everybody speaks volumes of it. It's one of the reasons why I said, Brooklyn, I want you to come on here because I know you played Astrobot. And because I know that was Game of the Year, and it looks like it was deservingly so.
So many people were outraged that there was no VR mode for it. And before it came out, I'm not going to lie, I was too, because we want to see some love for the VR, for the PSVR 2. But once I played it, I was like, how could they have even done this in VR? There's just so much going on. I couldn't imagine them. I think they would almost have to dumb it down a little bit to put a game like that in VR.
That wouldn't make it worth it at all, would it? Even if you're going to have to take stuff out of it, why bother?
Yeah, it's so after playing it, I'm fine that it doesn't have a VR mode.
That says a lot right there, I think.
Good to see Rich Odello. Good to see KFB, who says he's called Astrobot Game of the Year since day one. And definitely deserved Game of the Year. Yeah, and real quick, I know I've made a video on Metaphor Refantasio. If you haven't watched it, please check it out. I started playing it. It's a 100-hour game. It's a huge investment, but it's actually blew my mind. I'm gonna show a quick segment real quick.
Mission? Killing Luis to lift the prince's curse.
His Highness survived the attack, but the curse hanging over him was powerful and complex.
If we don't hurry and find a way to get close to Luis, we're sunk.
What have we got here? He's an elder!
The minority tribes face walls and barriers everywhere they look in society. I've been reading, and I hope that someday we can make our kingdom like the place in this book.
A world with no need for that abstract dominion we know as magic. You carry a certain fantasy novel, yes? It was my hand that penned it. Dreamers like you are always the first to die. You think he's one of Luis's men? The villagers plead to be spared, but I know better than to confront a human. You left one survivor!
Certainly. It was the first village to be destroyed by the human menace.
I will show you truth, the reality! I suppose it's only a matter of time until Luis takes the throne.
So, the story on this really kind of sucks you in as you start playing. The animation style is phenomenal. The turn-based RPG elements are modern. The menus are sleek. It has a wonderful feel. And my only complaint is I don't have 100 hours to put into a game. Other than that, the game is mind-blowing good.
Steps, I swear I was going to say the same thing. That's the only thing stopping me from getting that game is the 100-hour investment. And the way I play games and want to try to find every secret and go off the path of the story, I'll be playing that game for years. And I know I'll start it and I'll never finish it.
Yeah. I've started Dragon Quest XI, for example, and it's a 100-hour game. I'm like halfway through, and I bought it like 5 years ago.
Wow.
I have like 50 hours in. But to be fair, I did 20 hours, and then I stopped playing it for like 3 or 4 years, and then I put in another 20 hours.
The problem is that happens. You stop playing it, then you go back a year later, and you have no idea what you're doing anymore. You're further into the game, and now it's more challenging. And you lost all your skills, and you completely forgot what the story was.
The awesome thing about Dragon Quest XI though is that you could go to this place and replay the videos, so you can like remember
That
where you're
helps.
at, which helps a lot. That was a good thing. I haven't played enough of Metaphor Refantasio, but I really need to. I really need to, and I kind of, I started playing too many games at once, which for retro people that love old Nintendo games. Maybe they play Dragon Warrior 3 on the NES.
Yeah.
I have a lot of praise for Dragon Quest 3 because it really gives you that same feel, but it modernizes the game. And so if you're looking for that bit of nostalgia, but you want something new, that's where it's great that Square Enix is starting to remake these games. You might ask yourself, why did they do 3 first? And it's because 3 actually is in order of the first one. It was kind of like a prequel to the other 2. So next I think we'll get 1 and then 2. But those were the only 2 games that I really personally have seen and had a big investment on that I've seen in the Game Awards, but I thought they were perfect holiday gift-giving games, Metaphor Refantasio and Astrobot. So I wanted to make sure I talked about those today. Do you think there's any other games from there that stand out, Brooklyn Menace?
I would say, but as far as between those two, Astrobot's gonna be more family friendly if you're buying games for a younger audience. Anything else that sticks out for me? I'm really liking Silent Hill 2.
I've heard a lot of good things.
It's a slow burn at the beginning, the way you just like walk to Silent Hill, and then it just gets nuts from there. And I'm really enjoying it. The visuals on that game on the PS5 are incredible.
Is it in VR too, or just straight?
It's not in VR.
Okay, is it on Xbox and PS5 or just PS5?
I don't know. I just got it on PS5.
Okay. Just curious. Astrobot DualSense 30th anniversary DualSense. Oh, he says the Astrobot DualSense is greater, is a better controller. Honestly, if I had to pick which one, if I got a PlayStation 5, I'd probably want the Astrobot one. It does look cooler, just by appearance.
I would say another great game would be the new Mario Party.
Yep, my son's got that. I bought that for him.
Jamboree, right?
Jamboree, yeah. Do you have it at home?
I don't have it yet, but it's on the list.
It's on the list.
Yeah, because that's one that you just sit down with the whole family and enjoy it.
We did that with Superstars last year over Christmas, right? But of course, they're probably come up with one a year now. With that series is so popular, right? Well, how many are there? Like,
there's a bunch, but this one is getting fantastic reviews.
Yeah,
they counted up to 10 and then they gave up.
They stopped. They just threw a different name in there, right? Superstars, Jamboree.
Yeah, I used to play the ones on. I used to play the ones on GameCube when I was in college, and I always loved 4. It's like you always have a lot of fun with those games, no matter how old you are. It's really for all ages, and it's really cool to see Sony get a mascot now that can get to the level of something like a Mario with this Astrobot. And I knew Astrobot was in a previous game, but nobody really cared. And now Astrobot is making it big.
Yeah, when you buy a PS5, you got an Astrobot game, and it was almost it's a decent size game, but it was really designed almost as a tech demo for what the controller can do. And with the Astrobot game, the new one that came out, they really pushed it. It's like, and that's the thing that you can't translate that unless you're playing the game. So you're seeing the video and the game looks fantastic, but when you're playing it and the things that the PS5 controller is doing and what you feel, it's just incredible how they're able to like translate different surfaces the way they feel, like when you're running on metal or wood, the way the controller reacts, and it actually gives you that feeling. So it just adds to it.
Yeah, if I had some good money this year, I'd buy a PS5 and Astrobot. I mean, I'm not going to talk about something that I don't either own or that I wouldn't put on my list, me personally, and like that.
Or something that you might have to have repoed. You're not going to talk about that either.
No, we're not talking about any of that stuff today. We're not talking about any of that stuff today.
I think what I see here is that if Steps had a list, what he would like a PS5 and Astrobot for Christmas.
Yeah, that'd be
that
great.
Would be good.
That would be great. So anyway, Papa Pete, what do you got on your list?
I got a bunch of stuff, and I just put stuff down like because I know it's hard to buy for a gamer. It's hard to get people to buy things for you too, you know. So sometimes there's things that just sort of are no brainer. And just as simply put, like I put 5 things down from top to bottom, from sort of like easiest down to something that pretty much everybody would love, but it costs a lot more money. And I'm going to start right off with simple thing. If you have a gamer or you know somebody, even if you know the games they like, it's hard to buy them a specific game unless you ask them what game you want. So buy them gift cards. Buy them a gift card from, it doesn't matter if it's GameStop or Amazon, or even if you have a local retro game store, like that's what I would love is you can get gift cards from all these homebrew dealers online, like a television collector or stuff. You write to them, he'll sell you a gift card if somebody's into that, because it's too damn hard to figure out what to get for somebody that they don't already have or that they're looking for. Because face it, when you're gamers like us, we kind of go out and buy what we want when we want it. Isn't that the truth, though? Yeah. Impossible for anybody to buy for us.
Where anyone that's a gamer that knows me is lucky when I'm buying a gift is I know so much about games. I know what to buy. That's, you know, that they're going to enjoy. But when someone's buying for me, yeah, I would rather them just give me the gift card and I'll pick out what I like.
That Carl says about wanting a television flashback, they're friggin' hard to get now. They're kind of pricey. They're what, $40 when they come out. I wish I had gotten 3 or 4 of them because I did get 1 or 2. But I was lucky enough to get the Ultimate Flashback upgrade on Atari Age there before he stopped doing them, which is a RetroPie upgrade. Lets you specially design for the emulation of Intellivision games, because emulating television games is exceptionally difficult because of the controller, right? To get the controller input. But anyway, that's a really good gift, Carl. But you know, eBay, right? You can always get them on eBay. You know, another thing that is always good for any gamer, I think, is a good gift to pick up for anybody that they enjoy is books. I got my pile here.
Boo.
I do that for my sister every year. Books on games or guides.
All right, I'll take that. That's a good book.
See, Atari Archive. That's that Kevin Bunch one, which I haven't even opened and looked at it yet, but I saw it. It was on Limited Run, was selling it. And it was a sale one day. And it's like, got to get that because I love his show that he has on there. And that only covers the first 20. Another one on that line is, I don't know if you guys have seen this book or not. This has been out for years now by Tim Lapatino.
That's a great book.
The Art of Atari, and the artwork that's in there from there. You open right up to the missile page, right?
That's cool.
And this book is, as you can see, is really thick. It's not crazy expensive either, but any person who's into games is going to love to have this book, especially retro games and stuff. And without getting too far into it anymore, I'm going to show you these because if I get them picked up, a buddy of mine named Brett Weiss puts a lot of books out. You know Brett?
I've heard of him.
Yeah, and he puts out games like this. These are friggin' tomes, right? Tomes, I guess it would be called. The complete library and NES library and 2 different compendiums. This is very specific. He also has an SNES one. He's working on a Genesis one. And for anybody who's a little bit less specific, he's got books like this, like for retro games, the 100 best video games from, what's this one, 1977 to 87, from every system going. And then he's got a follow-up now that is
N64.
88, yeah, exactly.
Yeah. If I was going to get a book as a holiday gift, I would take any one of those books.
They're wonderful things. You get all those online too on Amazon or from Brett himself or whatever. You get autograph copies from Brett. But yeah, it's all pretty cool. Another thing, like you were talking,
I'm not writing a video game book garage gamer.
Hey, why not, right? That's friggin',
you know what? I do have an English degree.
RGT's got a couple books out too to pick up,
Yeah,
pretty
he just did
inexpensive too, right?
the
Yeah,
wrestling
the
book.
wrestling one. Yeah.
Yeah,
Mhm.
which is really cool. Sean's got that out, and of course he had his book on the Sega. Oh my God, 32X, the complete library of the 32X. Not a real big book, but you still get it on Amazon too. I got one from him, but he put it out years ago. So though, there's all kinds of stuff like that. If you have a friend who's a gamer or somebody who doesn't know much about games and they're going to try to get you a gift, get them up. Hey, tell them a couple books, because the hardcover ones are pretty expensive, but man, they're great to have. I'm telling you that, because you can spend hours just going through them. I'll go through my whole list if you want, Steps.
Let's go.
All right. So the next thing I put on was I was watching RGT a while back. Late spring, and I just checked it tonight, and the thing is still on there. Maybe I could share the page. You hold on here. There it is. I'm going to share it, and Steps could put it on.
Oh yeah.
There it is. So there's this thing. It was $40 some. It's on right now for $35.99 plus shipping. But it's just one of these things you can plug in, and it's got 38,291 games. I've got one. Have a good virus scanner, I would say, go through it first. But man, these things are incredible. The games that are on there that you can play, right? And I don't know, it's been on Amazon now for sale for a year. So there's umpteen of them on there. But this particular one for $35.99, how do you beat it?
What kind of controller do you use?
I just use an Xbox One controller when I play it.
Okay.
Yeah, just hook it up through the regular system. It hooks up just like a hard drive that just is another hard drive on your computer, and away you go.
Yeah, they even have the ones that are just like a USB stick. Just stick it into your TV. You're ready to go.
I'm going to go back to Carl O's comment about television flashback. If you don't know, Papa Pete is a huge Intellivision channel. And so why haven't they made a television controller that you could hook up to a PC and play emulated Intellivision games?
There have been adapters to hook up original controllers, but it's such a strange controller, right? I mean, look at this thing. It looks like a telephone, right? And this was this big thing. Now, to be quite honest, it is the very first, because it's put out in 79. It's the first gamepad. This is the original gamepad that ever existed. Before Nintendo or anything put those things out, it's the precursor to it. But it's 17 different buttons. It is a 32 directional controller. And they just don't make things like that anymore. They try to emulate them, and they have 4 directional controllers. And it just makes the games feel different. Do you know what I'm saying?
I remember having the Intellivision. They were attached by almost like phone cords,
right,
to the console.
The original one,
put the paper over those bubble buttons.
Yes, the overlays, and the original ones were like that. They were a coiled cord like a telephone, and they were attached. They were actually into the system, and if you took the system apart, you could take them off, but they were not detachable controllers. The Intellivision 2 went on to have detachable controllers, but they were changed, and I'm going to stop that screen here right now. They were changed, and they felt terrible in comparison to the original ones. Later on, Sears actually put out a system. Bingo. Sears actually put out a system that had, the reason those controllers are unattached is because those are for my flashback, okay? This is an actual Sears controller from an original system, which is it's right there. But these actually had an end that you could take out. And it's just a 9-pin. So if you're looking to get an old Intellivision, either a 2609, which is the original one, but the controllers are attached, or the Sears one, are great ones to get, because they're a little bit better. The flashback's really the way to go, though. But I digress. I get right off kilter here. How did I get down?
No,
that path?
I asked you. You were here, and I asked.
Right on.
So anyway, Papa Brad has joined the chat. He says, hello, gamers. Papa Brad has told me that he wants me to have a show with you and him where you challenge each other in Atari games.
Oh, God. Let's do it.
Yeah? All right.
We'll have to do it sometime.
We'll have to do it. Yep.
I'm on a 20th Century Fox kick at the moment.
Not 19K Fox. he's a YouTuber in this home arcade community.
There you go. Okay.
Yeah, Sears was the way to go back in the day. Those catalogs were great.
Oh yeah, the Sears Wish
Sorry.
Book, and then their own. I love the Sears Atari games, those versions, and the Sears and television games. You probably can't see, but down
those catalogs. Those catalogs are collector's items now.
It's crazy, isn't it?
From back in the day. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, Papa Pete, did you have anything from Atari in your holiday giving guide?
Yes and no. I'm not quite there yet.
Oh, okay. I just said that because Papa Brad keeps talking about Atari. So
Atari, yes, I'll get to Atari in a second, Brad. The next thing, it's television and Atari in both this setup. Let's grab a pile here. If you're getting into retro gaming at all, man, Evercade.
No, you just made Brooklyn's day.
I don't even have to talk anymore. He took my first gift.
Oh, I'm sorry.
It's
I guess
right.
we didn't know. How would we know? But I love this system.
Fantastic.
I wish I had more time to play it, but there's a couple other things as a collector I like about it too, is that it was relatively inexpensive to get the games. It's got a great selection of games. Like you'll have an Atari. The reason I say it links is there's 2 Intellivision cartridges. There's several different Atari cartridges from the 2600 to the Lynx to whatever. And then every system going, they got sort of regular cartridges. Those 2 are the Duke Nukem games, right? So those are just the regular maroon games. Then you have the arcade series, which is I think 11 or 12 of those now. Those are all arcade games, right? In their purple boxes.
Are yours all sealed?
Yeah, these are all sealed. And they even got.
Are you just jumping into Evercade?
I've had them for a long time. I bought a mega bundle back when it was still available.
Okay, when you got the console and they came with a ton of cartridges.
It came with 10 cartridges to start. So I've managed. Now I say it's inexpensive. The cartridges most of the time you can get them for $20.
Not the legacy ones anymore.
But once they've gone legacy, which for the longest time they said there weren't going to be any go legacy, and they have started to go legacy. They started with Oliver Twins and the 2. What was it? The 2 Namco ones, and there's one other one there too.
10 is the most expensive. The Techno's Home.
Techno's, cartridge. That's it. That was the other one that
close to 300 sealed.
And the Pico #1 as well.
Pico 1 is going for a lot now.
Wow. Yeah. So I
have every cartridge they ever made.
I'm missing about 6. 35, I think, is the earliest one that I need. So far so good. But
I have them all, including 2 of the Oliver Twins, and I'm keeping both because one's North American and one's Peggy.
Oh, cool. I've got 3 Oliver Twins just because this is the way. It's so weird the way it works. I
love the Oliver Twins cartridge. Like some of my friends say, "Oh, I know it goes for a lot, but the cartridge stinks." I absolutely love it.
Yeah. I picked it up, and then I'm on Amazon, and it was on sale for $12. So I said, I'm going to buy 2 more of those because somewhere down the road, somebody will have one that I need, and I'll have this one for $12. I say, hey, I'll trade you an Oliver Twins for
it's like buying stock, Papa P.
And it's like now, all of a sudden, those Oliver Twins ones have gone through the friggin' roof because they're.
Yeah.
And you want to know what the ironic thing about it is? A year ago, August, I went with a whole bunch of retro stuff to a big, massive flea market, and I sold a few $1,000s worth of stuff. And the whole time I was there were 2 Oliver Twins carts sitting on my table for $25 a piece, and nobody bought them.
Nobody knows. I go to all these gaming events, too many games, and you will see 0 Evercade stuff in all the vendors. And you can even go up and ask some of them, and they have no idea what it is. But I think that's going to change. Evercade's been growing in popularity every year. 2025 is going to be even bigger now that they just landed SNK.
Yeah.
And the thing is it's tough for the new people jumping into Evercade and finding it now because they get that addiction wanting to get all the cartridges and don't realize that, you're going to have to pay a premium from a reseller on
going
eBay.
back is rough. I was lucky that the last one that I got that was sort of older. I was out at Portland Retro a year ago, October, and I picked up a whole bunch of those out there from Castlemania Games and from Bluebird, I think is the name of the company. Anyway, And I had them all. I had the list of the ones I need. I picked them all up, but I couldn't get the 19th. And for the life of me, I can't. Codemasters? 19
Yeah,
anyway.
you don't have that one? I have 4 of those.
They told me, oh, that'll be back in stock. They told us that'll be back in stock. Well, it never did come back in stock. And I kept looking and looking and looking, and I never saw it anywhere. And finally, I managed to snipe one on Amazon for like $27, which was more than normally you pay for it. But now it's gone right through the roof. So I was lucky to have grabbed it when I did. It was the oldest one I needed by far.
It's a fun cartridge
at that point. So is it a good cartridge? Yeah, I haven't even opened. It's sitting right there somewhere. I don't know. So
sounds like Papa Pete needs to become an Evercadian.
Yeah, there you go. Great channel too. The Ever Canadian, right?
Well, I'm on a show called the Evercadians.
The Evercadians? Oh, right on.
It's a separate channel, but there is the Ever Canadian.
That's a friend of mine from Vancouver. Yeah, friend of mine. I mean, I live 3,000 miles away, but I've met him online before with other stuff. Last thing, okay? And remember I told you guys earlier, I think they took it off the website. They did not. It's still there. I just couldn't find it. Now I got to find it on here.
Do you have the Evercade Alpha, Papa Pete?
Which one is that?
That's
the Alpha is their new little tabletop arcade where you can play your cartridges.
I have not. I have not tried to get all the hardware. I've got the original system. I've got a Versus Founders, and I've got the what's the new one called? The vertical one, or with the Founders Edition. I'm sitting here looking at
EXP?
EXP Founders, yeah.
The original one? Yeah, I have the Founders EXP, the black one.
Yeah.
I have every VS except for the VSR, the Atomic, Founders.
Oh, wow, yeah. I didn't get the Duke Nukem one, the Atomic one, or the other ones. But
I have the Alpha, the Deluxe Alpha with the Sanwa buttons.
Right on. All right, last but not least on my list, and this is pricey, but it's quite a friggin' deal. There it is. Okay. If somebody was so inclined to jump into the Atari scene right now, I can't fathom a better deal than grabbing the 7800 plus bundle at the moment, because all 15 of the games they put out are here, 2 wireless game pads, and 30% off, $429.89.
Yeah, it's almost that much just for the games when they're not on sale.
Precisely. 15 games at $30 a piece is $450.
Isn't it crazy that they're selling Atari games now, like the new ones, for $30?
Well,
people are eating them up, man. Atari is like killing it lately.
Yeah, but I haven't tried. Obviously, I haven't tried. I don't have a 7800 plus. I have a 2600 plus. I'm terrible for getting things and then say, okay, I got to open that and play it, and then a year later, it's still sitting there and I haven't tried it yet.
It's the same thing in a different shell, but this one, comes with the updated firmware in it. But it's basically the same. Basically the same thing. I have the 2600 plus.
I have played the 7800 plus. I played it in Portland. And yeah, I like the look and feel of it. It's definitely more modern looking. It's more something that I relate to as somebody that didn't start gaming till NES. I do think that I'm more interested in like the 8-bit style games than the older Atari games. Yeah. So this is appealing to me. I do want one. Obviously, not in a position to buy right now, but it's definitely something that I hope will come my way at some point. As I did pick up and you can't see it, but the Block'em Sock'em from John Hancock for the 7800 plus.
Good game.
Oh, yeah.
That's going to be on Evercade too on the next Indie Heroes collection.
Yeah, cool. And it's autographed by John Hancock himself. So that was something I picked up when I was there, and definitely need a 7800 plus so I could enjoy playing it on the actual cart. And the price on it's right, because you could get it for like $130. I just need to be careful right now. That's all there is. But if you can't go with the $429 bundle, because that is a lot.
It's a lot of money.
Yeah, but the 131 will get you the Atari 7800 plus, the Crystal Castle sequel, and then the 2 wireless controllers.
That's right.
Which is pretty cool.
Yes.
And I think it's probably a good thing they came out with the European style controllers as opposed to the original controllers that came out on it, because I think they're more I don't know, they approach a broader audience, and people could figure out how to use that controller a lot better.
More comfortable.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know what you're saying, because there's a reason that these controllers, this style of controller, is still being made for all kinds of different systems today, and they aren't making them like they did for the 700 back in the day, the original ones.
Yeah, these are remakes, Rainwater, and they have like some of the games have never been released, or they're fan games that are now being released. Like, for example, John Hancock's game I just had in my hand, or the new 7800 version of Berserk and Frenzy.
I tell you, like Rainwater just said, aren't they like $3 a piece? I wish they were still all like $3 a piece, because I've started to want to buy some more just plain old carts. I collect a lot of complete in box, but even Atari has gone up in price majorly over the last 2 years. Since this company has started to become so prominent, I find that even the common carts now, you used to be able to go in and get them. You could get easy, probably 10 for $5, 10 for 10 at the least. Now they want $5 a piece for combat, which doesn't really make any sense, but whatever.
That's crazy. I mean, my parents have a great big bag of Atari 2600 games in their closet. There's got to be at least 150 loose carts in there.
Yep. But now they're I'm not saying anybody's buying them, but that's what they're
That's
asking.
what I'm saying. Who would be buying them? Like, it's wow. You could ask whatever you want. That doesn't mean people are going to pay it. I mean,
I got
when Rich Wodello and I were at the Long Island Retro Gaming Expo, there was a vendor there selling boxed 2600 games, and some of them were going for, in the thousands.
Wow.
Boxed, yeah.
Boxed.
Yeah, I could see boxed,
Still sealed too.
Some, but I mean, I was getting I collected a lot of Atari boxed over the last 10 years, let's say. Most of them were less than $10, but now it's just gotten foolish. But what hasn't?
Circus Convoy.
Circus Convoy, nice.
It's autographed by Gary Kitchen and David Crane, and that game, I believe, is on the 2600. It's a one you could get from their website. I saw that. Audacity Games. You could get that. But I paid $5 for that little sign thing from them. You got it.
Yeah. I got it back in the day. That's the collector's edition.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, how often you have the original programmers coming out with brand new games of that quality? It's a certificate of authenticity signed.
Oh, it's signed by them too. Yeah.
Yeah. And the case, the newest one, when they put this out, I got that in 2021. And Casey's Gold was supposed to be right out behind it. It got released November 25th, like just 3 weeks ago. And I got the collector's edition of that as well. Hey, Herb Wars.
Casey's Gold.
Yeah, Casey's Gold. So that's cool.
Autographed too.
That is so cool. But
yeah,
to have those guys, I mean, putting out new games. David Crane is just classic. I mean, it doesn't get any more classic. Howard Scott Warshaw, David Crane, Rob Fulop. Those guys, they just did amazing things with those old systems, right?
It's so funny because Facebook is like, you should be friends with Mr. Warshaw, and I'm like, how the heck did he get into my life?
If you show those interests, yeah.
But
hey, I talked to David Crane right here on your channel.
Yeah, that was a good stream. And if you missed it, it was over a year ago, I think. But it's on my channel still. I did not delete that one. I'm doing a bit of cleanup on my channel right now. I'm trying to reinvent myself, but that one will always stay. I'm not getting not taking that one down. Nope.
When you have a historic figure like that, you keep it.
Yep. Same thing with the stream about Pac-Man Fever, Jerry Buckner.
Oh, Buckner and Garcia. Yeah, really?
Yeah.
I didn't see that. I'll have to look for it.
Yeah, it was
glad
a good
it's still
one.
there.
Good to see you, Herbors. Good to see you.
So, Steps, can I get into my gift giving?
Yes, you can.
I'm going to
Yes, you
start with the
can.
more expensive items, but that I still think are reasonable. And then we'll get down to like the stocking stuffers. Okay.
Okay.
So number one, obviously, I'm going to recommend getting a VR headset, which you can either go with the Meta 3, a little bit more expensive, or the more budget friendly, the 3S. Especially if for someone that has never had VR before, because what people don't understand about virtual reality is, I know people get afraid of motion sickness and stuff. There's so many things that you can do in VR besides playing games. You can get a VR headset and never play a game. You could, but say if you want to sit in your house and feel like you're at the movies and watch a movie, you could do that. Say if you just want to browse videos and actually feel like you're at the event standing right in front of the people. You have some amazing creators out there that are shooting these 8K videos and you're like fully immersed. And I've gone to like checked out like Comic-Con in New York and it feels like you're there. There are more friendlier games like with less motion. Like obviously, you know, we always get together and play Walkabout Mini Golf, which I think is an essential for anyone that picks up a VR headset. We've had some fantastic and fun bowling nights. And then you can get into the more intense stuff, you know, like I do. And it's also a fabulous medium for if you're into puzzle games, because they do games which you can only do in VR, the way, you know, some of these puzzle games. And it's just endless fun. You put this thing on and you never know where you're going to go. And when you take it off, you realize you're still in your house. And you say to yourself, why do I even need to go to Disney anymore? Why do I need to go to a theme park anymore? I could do everything right here in my living room. You're into retro stuff. You have a full arcade that's endless that you can play right in your house. You want to play pinball in VR, you can do that. You feel like you're standing right in front of the table. It's endless stuff. And every time you put that on, you never know where you're going to wind up. And it always sucks having to come back to reality and when you take it off. So
Yeah,
that's definitely my number one. Don't be afraid. VR is the future. Accept it. And the reason I'm saying Meta, or even though I'm a massive PSVR 2 fan, is because I think the Meta 3 and 3S are more user friendly for new VR users. And I didn't even get into all the mixed reality. So if you're afraid of motion sickness, the MR games, you're not going to get it because you just feel like you're in your room, but all of a sudden your room's getting invaded by zombies and you're running around in your house, you know, in the middle of a shootout and things are blasting through your walls. And it's just incredible. So that would be my number one. Get into VR.
Better games?
Which one has better games? Well, Meta 3 and 3S are going to have the same games. Meta has been around for such a long time. They have the largest library. Mm-hmm. But PlayStation VR 2 is where I go to play VR. As a YouTuber, I think it's the best way for me to stream it simply, you know, for the audience, and plus it's got the text to speech. So when people put stuff in the chat room, I can interact on the Meta. You got to take 50 steps to stream from that. But I'm not recommending it. I'm not talking about, you know, being a YouTuber. I'm just saying, just in general, getting it. We've had so many people from the home arcade community that have been through my streams that we're never going to get VR. Now they have it. And nobody has said, I'm disappointed in my purchase. Everyone that gets it are having a great time. Like I said, you don't have to be as extreme as the stuff I'm doing in it. But we all get together. We have these weekly golf games. You know, we'll probably have one going this weekend, and it's great. Like, we all feel like we're in the same place, and we just have a great time, you know? And that's why everyone that's picking one up, as soon as they even just jump into their first golf game with us, that's it. They're sold. Whether they ever get another VR game in their life, just for that alone right there, it's worth the price of the purchase. So definitely VR. Number two, like for your retro fan, that's a little bit up there. on the you know, we're going to go back to Evercade again. I'm going to say get someone in Evercade Alpha, because it takes up no space. It's got an amazing screen, and this is coming from someone that has difficulty even playing games on handhelds. I have no issue on that 8-inch screen seeing everything crystal clear, even if it's a vertical game that's not taking up the full real estate of the screen. See everything perfect. And you know, if you got that for someone that's never had a little arcade product in their house, they're going to get something that is great quality, has fantastic built-in games. So whether you get them the Street Fighter or the Mega Man, you can't go wrong. If you're a Street Fighter fan, they're going to have a great time with those games. Get the Mega Man, you got a great variety of games, beat 'em ups. The Mega Man games on there are the arcade style. They're more like fighting games, like a boss rush. But it's ever expanding. Like you saw Papa Pete pick up all those cartridges. Well, every one of those cartridges can be put into the alpha. So they could take it from there, you know, and it's once they have the base unit, it's really not that expensive, unless you're a maniac like me that wants every single thing that comes out. You know, some people just are going to pick up the cartridges that are going, you know, be something that they want to play. But it's you have yourself a little arcade, and it's just ever expanding. And most of the games play fantastic on there. And if they don't, like a game like the Tomb Raider cartridge, you can plug in a controller. It's going to come with one. If it doesn't, you can pretty much plug in your PlayStation 5 controller, your Xbox 360, and they just work seamless. You just plug them in and they're ready to go. So that's going to be on the higher tier gift giving stuff that you can't go wrong. Another way to get people into Evercade more stocking stuffer, you have the Super Pockets. If you have an Atari fan, how could you go wrong not getting him the new Super Pocket that has 50 built-in Atari games? And also you can expand. It has a cartridge slot, so it's expandable. So the Super Pockets are a fantastic and budget-friendly way to get into the Evercade ecosystem. So those would be like my bigger gifts. Now, someone that I recently got a Rogue Ally X. So I've been back on Steam and really building up my library. Steam, anyone that's on there knows they always have fantastic sales. So even if you see a game that's full price, just favorite it and watch it. And I guarantee you within a few weeks, you'll get a notice that, you know, this game that's on your list is now on sale. So I'm going to start recommending some games that are on Steam, but not on any other platform. All right. Number one, and Rainwater had brought it up earlier. I'm going to highly recommend you check out this game. I don't know if you could pull it up, Steps. It's called Vampire Hunters. Okay. So imagine a Vampire Survivors game, right? But as a first-person shooter. But it is wild, because as you're running around defeating enemies and collecting the orbs and getting your power-ups, you're in first person. So you will have like 20 guns and chainsaws and lasers all around you. Like you start off with just your one gun and it does the shooting for you. Just have to run around and aim. And then it just gets completely nuts. Look, there you go. It starts like with just one gun, and then it gets completely nuts on how many guns you can build up. And it's every time I do a run on this game, it's different, because you never know what upgrade you're going to get. And it's like, you're just laughing because it's so crazy. Highly recommend this one, and it is on sale right now. Okay, I think it's on sale for maybe $7 or $8 or $12. Can't go wrong. I guarantee if you get that game, it'll be hours later and you'll be like, all right, just one more run, and you're going to keep going. And it just has endless power-ups and stuff like that you can earn, that where you can permanently power up your character. So it's like a roguelite. You go back in stronger the next time, you get a little further. But if anyone likes Vampire Survivors, check out Vampire Hunters. It's almost like Serious Sam meets Vampire Survivors. Like blend those two together with the craziest weapons I've ever seen. So that's a cheap one. I'm also going to recommend a Steam game that's only on Steam called Angerfoot. That game is insane. It's also a first person, ultra fast, ultra violent game. You're just, your sneakers were stolen and you're basically going to get them back, and you're fighting through what's called Shit City to get your sneakers back. And you just do these frantic runs, beating the hell out of everyone, shooting, kicking. Absolutely awesome game. Then there's another one that's called, it's similar to Angerfoot, but more serious. It's called I Am Your Beast. It's more of like you're almost like a Rambo type character. And you're running through all levels, like ultra fast weapons, shooting. And it's like ultra stylized. There you go. So these are games that you're not going to see in the on any of the consoles, which I'm shocked that they're not on there. But they're fantastic games, and if you wait, put it in your list, they will go on sale. If not, just type in the game, go to like shopping on your browser, and you'll see these sites that sell like the codes for Steam at a greatly reduced price. If you can't wait, I would say in the order of these games, well, all right, between Angerfoot and I Am Your Beast, go with Angerfoot first. Vampire Hunters, just get it today. Trust me, you're gonna love it.
Awesome.
I'm gonna also recommend another series, and people might laugh at me when they hear the title. This one, yeah, you could get these on Steam. I got them on Steam for super cheap. I think some of them might be free to play on PlayStation 5, depending on if you have like PS5 Plus. It's called Cat Quest. It's been out for a while. They're up to Cat Quest 3 now. It is a simple like role-playing style game where you play as a cat, and it's just fantastic. It's very simple to play and just a lot of fun. There you go. That's Cat Quest. Highly rated games too. And it's all real-time fighting like that, going through dungeons. It's like a beat 'em up
that looks like it's an RPG.
They're role-playing games, but they play, it's not like turn-based fighting.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like you could compare it almost to River City Ransom, where it has like
yeah,
RPG
but I love how they do the map in this artistic style. And they just came out with the third one, which is a pirate theme one. I have 1 and 2 because I figure by the time I even get through those 2, 3 will have been out for 7 years already, and it'll be $2.
Yeah. It'll be a
lot of fun with these. These again, you can play on. These are on all platforms. So if you have a PS5, you can get this, and I do believe, depending on which platform you have, some of them are free to play at this point. Raymore to put it in the chat. I got it for I got the bundle for like $4 for the 2 games. And I was seeing them
VR games
for sale on no, they're not VR. But I do actually play games outside of VR. VR does ruin it. VR, just like once you start playing games in there and then go back to playing like flat games on a screen, it's like it's missing something. But
Yeah.
But these are great. You can't go wrong with any of these games. And yes, I'm playing Cat Quest, and my name is Brooklyn Menace.
Drones over at
A
Zodwriter's
good
house.
game is a good game, Brooklyn.
Exactly.
Sod, do you have
there's
any-
also another one
Here
for
we go.
retro fans. It's called UFO 50. It is 50 brand new games that are all built from the ground up of every single style that you can imagine, but they're all ultra retro, I would say Nintendo style. And it's another game that's getting fantastic reviews. It's got shoot 'em ups, it's got platformers, it has everything. And they are not like a library of little quick games, like 10 seconds each. They are all full games, and you get 50 of them in this collection. So
Nice.
I have my eye on it. I'm just waiting for a sale.
All right. It looks like they have a lot of that's Blaster Master, just a lot of ones that look very similar to games that were on the
50
NES.
games you get.
Yeah.
And none of them are mini games.
Wonderful.
Is that it, Brooklyn?
Yeah, that's it.
All right. Sod.
It was
you have
awesome.
it?
I enjoy looking at stuff like that. Like, I find it hard to find these games. So when somebody who knows about games like that goes through, there's all kinds of things there I'd love to try to play. You know,
I bet you Papa Pete would love to go cat venturing. I know he's got a cat.
That game sounds fantastic. In fact, I'm going to get it after the show because it just looked,
You can't be
it just looked adorable. And if Brooklyn Medicine's playing it, I mean, it's like it's cool. You know, no shame. I'm gonna get it too. It looks like it'll be fun.
UFO 50. Go ahead.
I got.
And one last one: Bobby's Horse Derby. Oh, I'm kidding.
I have to recommend a game that I got that unfortunately I got it digitally.
You gotta have it.
And I wish I had a physical copy, but I recommend everybody get it, especially if you're a Neo Geo fan. It's called Vengeance Hunter, and it is on Steam. You can look it up, and it is awesome. It is actually getting a physical Neo Geo release. It is a beat 'em up, brand new, for Neo Geo hardware, but you can play it. But now you can play it, for PS4, PS5, and play it on Steam. It's a wonderful game. I'm like super excited, but it's not super difficult. But if you enjoy like beat 'em ups from the Neo Geo era,
that looks awesome.
It is fantastic. Highly recommend it. It's bloody, it's violent, it's crazy. It's a lot like, it's kind of like, because they're coming out with a Final Vendetta. Final Vendetta was a game that came out a few years back, but they're actually going to be releasing physical cartridges of that for Neo Geo platforms. And it's just one of those things. This is actually amazing.
I will 100% get this.
This looks good.
That is right up my alley.
It is so much fun. It is so much fun. It makes me feel like this is the kind of thing that I'm going to say it. If iArcade was still around, this would be a game that iArcade would probably try to scoop up because it's very,
100%.
Fits very, very well with the aesthetic. If you have good buttons and a good, stick with it, it's wonderful. So that's at the top. This is at the top of my list for everybody that's into these kind of games.
That might be at the top of mine right now.
This looks like it would be good on the Unico.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Without
Unico.
a doubt.
What
They
is
need
it?
to-
The
they need
Unico
to put-
Blast?
I want to put the next on my list would be the Unico handheld that is currently on sale right now, still for their Black Friday price for $79.99. It is a handheld game, but it has a ton of licensed Neo Geo games included. I'm not sure if you're going to be able to add games to it or not. I'm sure you will because all of those handhelds let you add stuff, but it's still at the Black Friday price. I ordered the white one, so as soon as I get it, I'll be doing a review on my channel because I want to try to kiss up to Unico so I could become shill rider and actually become a Unico influencer because
$79.
$79,
and it comes with all those Neo Geo games.
Yes,
Wow.
yes, it does.
Wow.
And so that is right underneath Vengeance Hunters on my
It
my
cuts
list.
off some of the games though. Here, I can't see what
It
they are.
doesn't let you quite see everything, but all the important games are on there. I mean, it looks and I honestly wish they would have come out with a Neo Geo themed handheld. I wish it was red and had the Neo Geo colors and was not.
It does on the buttons for the they have the same. No, maybe they're not. Maybe they're not. No, the buttons are not the same colors as the CD controller, right?
Yeah,
different.
Yeah, I'm looking at the controller right now. We all have this controller. We all bought this controller. I just I'm hoping that I'm hoping it's good. I'm in good faith. I'm a big Unico fan, big supporter of the MBSX, and I think that the Unico handheld. It's awesome to see an official product, with officially licensed games in a handheld mode. Especially considering that there's tons and tons of handhelds out, nowadays.
Can I answer that question, Steps?
Yes, you can.
One
I
Up
was
Underground?
hoping you would, Brooklyn Menace.
Depending on which one you get, if you just get the standard one that's not the deluxe and doesn't have the Sanwa controls, you're gonna have the marquee for the main game, and then you'll get 2 extras. If you get the deluxe, you're gonna get a marquee for every single game that's built in. However, out of any feature on the alpha, they could have done without the switchable marquees. I don't like that feature, and I'm just gonna leave mine alone because what you have is the marquee is basically just like a piece of plastic, and if you have everything off, it's just a light behind there, right? So the plastic, it has these ends that snap into the sides, and then it's got a piece of plexiglass that goes over it. However, it's I feel like if you just keep changing those marquees and pulling on that plexiglass, that thing is going to snap because it really bows out when you try to pull it off because you do have to remove it because I would have never touched it, but you have to remove it when you get the alpha because it's got that film over it to protect it from getting scratched up. And I did not like the feeling of pulling that thing off of there. And then plus I go to put it back on and I'm like, this doesn't look good. It's not it was bowing out, in the center. And then I was like, it was bothering me. So I finally took it off. Then you take it off. Then you're getting fingerprints on the freaking plexiglass. And then you're wiping it. You're like, well, is the fingerprint on this side or this side? Then you're trying to put it back on by getting fingerprints on it that you're going to see. I finally got the thing on and I realized I just did not have it fully snapped in because I was trying to be too gentle with it. I'm keeping the Mega Man. I didn't even open up the little envelope that comes with the extra ones. And plus, I've seen a lot of people put the other ones on there. It doesn't match. So it doesn't even look good.
Makes no sense.
If they make another alpha, they can honestly do without the changeable marquees. I know it's a cool little feature and it's probably also something that they can expand on. Let's say they come out with a cartridge, then they could sell you extra marquees if you want to snap on there. But to tell you the truth, the one that goes with the alpha that you buy is the best one anyway.
Looked like
so
it. The Mega
it's
Man
just, it's the one feature they did on the alpha that I feel they could have done, left out. Other than that,
with the bezel that it has, the bezel, the marquees are just so out of place. So maybe the next one don't have that kind of a bezel, a game specific bezel. Maybe have the bezel be something a little more generic, or if you're going to have different marquees.
Yeah, then when you see when you saw the picture of it before they came out, I almost thought they slid up, but they don't. They have these little parts that stick out on the side, and then they snap underneath the sides, and then the same thing with the plexiglass. Like I said, I feel like you keep messing with those marquees, you're going to wind up snapping that plexiglass eventually, because you really got to like, it's, you know, for it to snap in tight and sit flat.
Yeah.
It doesn't have a lot of give. I mean, I can show you.
I really did not want to talk.
Just leave it. I'm going to knock everything over, trying to get over
I
there.
really did not want to talk about At Games today, but At Games, I did talk to Rascal. I was on Rascal's stream, and he does work for At Games. He told me that the Legends 4K arcade machine with the Killer Instinct was still on their roadmap. So, who knows? Who knows? Sounds like it's going to be next year, but who knows? Just to answer the question. Anything else you got, Zod, for your holiday gift giving guide?
Well, and then one I think that should be on everybody's holiday gift giving list is the Marvel vs. Capcom collection. Get it in physical media if you can. Get it for the PlayStation 4. Get it for the Switch. Get a physical copy of it, just to show that physical media is still important. As you know, and that's the thing I love. You know, that's why I love what Evercade is doing, because they're putting out actual physical cartridges and things, and that's what we need more of. We need more physical copies of games. It's very important.
I've seen a lot of them in the stores. I know that people were like buying them up, thinking that was going to be their own.
Yeah, it's all over. It's in the store everywhere. Yeah,
every store I go, and I'm seeing rows of them,
shelves of them. Yeah, it's crazy out the door. It's like, wow.
I feel like they're trying to sucker me, because I bought, you know, of course it came out sooner on digital. I have it for Steam. I have it for Nintendo Switch, and it's like, I don't want to buy it a third time, you know, so I'm not. But I bought it twice. They already got my money. Marvel vs. Capcom. It's funny though, because I can go live with Marvel vs. Capcom, and I could get more views overall than almost anything else I do.
Sure can.
Bought multiple copies of Marvel vs. Capcom. Just need Xbox to come out to buy 2. That's another thing. I got an Xbox. Am I going to buy that version?
I'd probably buy the Xbox version too, just to continue to support it. Just because they knocked it out of the park with that release. So
I haven't had very good online play on the Switch. I do on Steam, but I haven't on the Switch. I will say that, but I think that might be on Nintendo, not them.
Steam is awesome for it. Yeah, I love it on Steam.
Yeah, I don't buy too many Steam games. I like to play on console, but if I have to buy Steam, I'll buy Steam on things. And there's some things that, like that Virtua Fighter 5, I might.
Hey, if the rumors are true, Steam they're coming out with a console, so we'll see what happens.
Well, they have that handheld, right? The Steam Deck.
No, but the rumors are they're coming out with an actual gaming console, not a handheld, an actual console that's going to compete with.
Well, that'll officially be the end of the Xbox.
So it'll be a console where everything's all digital.
Yeah,
most likely, but I think for Steam that'd be fantastic. And I would bet, I don't know, Brooklyn, I would bet that it would be like probably be streaming most of the time.
But wait,
for a console like that,
if it's a console, then isn't it going to have enough power to run any game that you can buy on Steam at least medium to high level? I know it's not going to be like having a 4090, but or is it going to be one of these consoles where you're streaming the game? Because I never liked that. I don't like streaming games.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of the whole streaming
Xbox,
either.
It's no good.
What, the Game Pass? Streaming your game?
No,
I use the streaming Game Pass. I just download everything.
If I download it, it plays fine. It's just I tried to play Halo, streaming and stuff like that. It's
terrible. It's too much lag.
Yeah. And actually, I had never really played Halo till like a year or two ago.
I don't get much lag when I play Antstream, and Antstream pretty much they stream them all the time. But those are older retro games, so I guess those are okay. It's not quite the same playing with an Xbox controller, though. That's kind of the problem. That Xbox controller is out of place for those types of games.
I don't think Xbox cares about just being console. They're like, where's the money? We don't care where the money, wherever the money is, that's what
They're
where
all
we'll
about
go.
pushing Game Pass now. It's like,
Yeah,
who cares where you
that's
play
their
it?
big thing. They don't care where you play. On your phone, go ahead.
I still think the best place to play Xbox is on an Xbox, but call me crazy.
Indeed. Indeed.
Yeah. So only a couple more things I want to talk about. You're done, Zod?
Yeah, pretty much. It's a short list.
All right. I was at the Portland Retro Gaming Expo, and I saw these in person for the first time, and I think they're a great holiday gift giving idea. So I'm going to share my video on it real quick. Quarter arcades. Is there sound? There's no sound, is there? Let me stop. Let's bring the sound on, because sound is a good idea, right? And I will do. There we go.
So we're at the Quarter Arcades booth with co-founder Matt Precious.
How you doing? Yeah, good.
So the Portland Retro Gaming Expo is one of the largest retro gaming conventions there is. What's it mean to Quarter Arcades?
Right, it's been unbelievable. For a lot of people in the US, it's the first time they've managed to see them in the flesh. So I think a lot of people have been blown away by size, how much bigger they are, and also the quality of the games as well. So we've had nothing but brilliant feedback on that. So awesome. Really pleased to. What are some of the favorite items you think that people have seen? I think it goes back to everyone loves the vending machines. Everyone loves pressing the button and getting the little cans out. But I think gaming-wise, with the machines, it depends on your use. So it's the machine that you played in the arcade at the time. So Turtles always goes down well when there's a group. You can all get round and play the Turtles. But some of the originals, the Pac-Man, Burger Time's gone down really well, which is out in January. And we brought the new Tato machines here for the first time. So Elevator Action, Zookeeper, and Kicks are here as well. So they look great. Yeah, we're really pleased with how they've come out. And I think people, again, with Space Invaders, with that Pepper Ghost effect, that we're very proud of. And I think people have seen that, especially in the tent where it's dark like an arcade. You can really see that kind of holographic effect of Space Invaders that makes it so special to any other arcade. Awesome. Really looking forward to that Burger Time. Yeah. Thank you for being here. Really cool to finally see your product.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that Burger Time 2 Steps. Did you make sure to remind him to ship me mine?
I did.
Right.
I said I know Brooklyn Menace that won that, and I don't think it's going to be an issue. I think you're going to get your Burger Time that you won.
I was fortunate enough to win the Burger Time, which is the next one that's coming out.
That Burger Time looks really amazing because there's no other arcade that looks like a Burger Time, and to have like that replica 1/4 scale Burger Time, their stuff is quality. One of the reasons I bring it up today is like what's great about them is they're a little bit the thing about like I love New Wave Toys, I love Quarter Arcades, I love them both. But the great thing about Quarter Arcades is they're readily like available. They don't like completely sell out. Like you could go and actually find one and get one, which makes it a good idea to recommend for Christmas right now. New Wave Toys, who I also absolutely love, especially this Zoltar that I got this year. Obviously, I've brought it out a few times, but the fact that he's just so animated.
You may have heard this, but Zoltar is here to tell you you can believe it. Age is simply a matter of mind. If you don't mind, then my friend, it doesn't matter. So go on, be carefree like a little baby.
And he's back.
But first,
he's back in stock, so you can get him now.
And it was on sale too.
Yeah, it may still be. But
you just wasted a ticket, Steps.
That's fine. You can buy more tickets now. They sell the tickets. You get another roll of tickets. Obviously, I made a video comparing the Zoltar to the real Zoltar. 4 different versions of the real Zoltar. If you missed that video, check it out on my channel. Zoltar is one of the coolest things. He was a hit at Thanksgiving. I took him out at Thanksgiving. Everybody loved him. Highly recommend Zoltar. I wish New Wave Toys had some arcades out there you could buy right now, but I think we're going to get them after Christmas. But keep an eye out because those Quarter Arcades, Taito, the Elevator Action, and what else is Zookeeper? Those just came out. Those are available, and I think the Burger Time comes out in January. So we're getting a lot from the miniature arcade market, and the quality of those are both brands is very, very, very good. And I think they're great gift giving ideas.
No, it was crazy. I glanced at the ticket that came out. It said Steps, stop being a shill.
Who said that? You?
The ticket that came out of Zoltar. Stop being a New Wave Toys shill, Steps.
The New Wave Toy Show. Well, I also shill for quarter arcades there. But
yeah, the quarter arcades are amazing. They're way bigger scale than the New Wave Toys.
And to be fair, quarter arcades hasn't given me any reason to shill them. I'm just shilling them because I thought they were cool. I think the New Wave Toys are really awesome too. I'm under no obligation to shill, as I got this Zoltar months and months and months ago.
Shill. It's worth it.
It's worth it. No, it's a good product. Otherwise, I wouldn't say so. I am not a good liar. You know what I mean? I'm just not. I'm happy with my multicades. I do not need any tiny replicas. Okay, that's up to you, Papa Brad. Whatever you like. Me, I don't have room for a whole bunch of arcades. I got a couple. I would like to get a few of these smaller ones that are titles that are nostalgic or cool. I'd love to have the Ninja Turtles. I'd love to have the Burger Time. I'd really think it'd be really cool to see some more Capcom titles from New Wave Toys, because I missed out on the Street Fighter and the other one, Ghosts and Goblins. So yeah. Once
they start shipping, I'll have one from each. Right now I just have the Egret 2, but I don't know if you can consider that like a mini replica arcade. But I got Glenn's Build-A-Cade, and I got the Zabo Donkey Kong kit for it, so I just need to put that together now that my kit finally showed up. I couldn't pass up on the Crystal Castles because it's such a unique cabinet, and I just wanted to have that, and I'll have the Burger Time. So they're just going to be display items. It's not like I'm going to sit here playing on them, but they'll just be, find a nice way to display them.
KFB, I do not take gifts and sell them and buy other things. That's not my character. It's not what,
But that's a good idea, though.
They sent me the Zoltar. I really appreciate the Zoltar. The Berserk cabinet, I really love that. They mean a lot to me. They're like right in front of me right now. I'm about to build a bookshelf. I might put them over there. But no, those two they're not going anywhere. I will sell stuff I purchased before I get rid of those. Just how it is. And if for so-called community bought me something, I would have a hard time selling that too. It's just how it is, It's my ethics and my values, I guess. I don't know.
Steps, I think you'd really like the Quest. I think you would really
I would too. I've enjoyed the PSVR 2 very briefly at one time. I think I want to get a PS5. That's my next big purchase, and maybe I'll pick up the PlayStation VR at some point. MetaQuest wouldn't be bad. I didn't know it's a gift. It's okay. I got it from New Wave Toys for purpose of review, man. That's what happened. At least I assumed it was. It showed up in my door. I didn't know it was coming. It just showed up in the mail. It was a surprise. So,
yes.
It was like, I guess that's for review. So, but that video did pretty well for me, and I really enjoyed doing the video. And I had half the video done already just because I had filmed Zoltars going to places like that Showbiz Pizza that I went to, the one left. And I go into theme parks over the summer. I had all this Zoltar footage. So when it came, I was like, oh my God, this is perfect. I have all this Zoltar footage. I don't have to do very much work.
The game that KFB is putting in the chat room, Space Pirate Trainer, that's been a VR game that's been out for, almost as long as I've had VR. But it is an amazing game. When Glenn got his Meta 2, like a year and a half, 2 years back, that was one of the games that he got, Space Pirate Trainer. So if you're like a retro fan, that's like being in a retro game. You're basically standing in place and you're shooting at enemies coming down, but you can also use your gun to you have a shield, but the shield can only last so long, so you're shielding bullets at the same time shooting. It's a lot of fun.
This is an OLED Switch. I didn't buy it within the last month though. I bought it over the summer, and I traded. I made a trade with a little bit of cash over the summer. I was a little bit better off. I'm glad I got it. It was a great deal. I've had a lot of fun with it. I've used it for like quite a few hours, and definitely better than playing on the Nintendo Switch Lite. That thing was terrible. I did not recommend that thing.
Brooklyn, what did you think of the game Path of the Warrior? I always thought that game was great for retro fans. It's like a Streets of Rage.
It's like a 90s beat 'em up in VR.
Yeah.
It's a lot of fun. The
So
characters are like these big cartoony characters. You can pretty much pick up anything and hit them. And
it just reminded me of
boss
Streets of Rage
fights.
when I was playing it. I love it. Yeah.
It's basically like that 90s beat 'em up, but all in VR. And you have a button to do your kicks.
When you can literally take people and slam their head into the pool table,
yeah, you can
in
throw
the bar,
them through windows, hit them over the head with frying pans,
beating them up all over the street. It's crazy fun, they make it kind of goof. They make it kind of goofy too, so you don't take it so serious.
But it looks cool in VR because the characters you're fighting, they're so big, or right there in front of you. These like big
you've got these Streets of Rage like hands. You're looking at your hands, and you got the brass knuckles, and it's awesome. It's awesome.
Yeah, and they play it out like almost like a cartoon in front of you, like for the story before you go into the levels, and it's definitely a throwback.
I wondered what you thought. I'd wondered what you thought of it because it reminded me so much of Streets of Rage. I was like, this is awesome. I love it. It's so much fun.
I never beat it. I think I'm on like the third level, and there's like these ninja girls flipping all over the place. And
I actually get motion sickness playing that game because I get so into it that I can only play for a little while. So I've never gotten very far. I think I got maybe like the second or third level, and that was it for me. Yeah,
that one's been out for a while too, but it's very good.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And if you like Time Crisis, we've got Crisis Brigade 2, which is
awesome.
Which is like Time Crisis in VR. It's incredible.
Yeah. Except instead of pressing a button to duck, you're actually ducking and hiding behind things and then jumping out and shooting and then getting back behind cover. It's fantastic. I was going to tell Biggie D, who's brand new to VR, because I know he's a fan of light gun games. I was going to tell him he should pick that one up.
Oh, it's incredible. It's incredible. And it's so real, and the controller actually feels like a gun in your hand. It's so insane. It's insane.
So
and they also do a lot of like little throwbacks to like movies and stuff like that as you get into the further levels.
Mm-hmm.
It gets crazy. I have that on the PSVR 2, and it's fantastic.
I was going to say the other reason why I still shill New Wave Toys and Quarter Arcades is when I was at Portland Retro Gaming Expo, New Wave Toys helped sponsor my charity for Give Kids a World Village. That whole booth I ran at the Portland Retro Gaming Expo, they donated, the Coke Machine prize. Glenn's Retro Show donated prizes. And I actually had a conversation with Quarter Arcades about them talking about doing something in the future. So I got to give love to people that give love back to places that need love, such as Give Kids a World Village, as well as, support the channel and support the cause, things like that. So there you go. I just wanted to say that.
Fair enough.
Yeah. We got anything else for Christmas or gift giving ideas before we end the stream?
I want to look up another VR game, but yeah, you just keep going and I'm going to find it. I'm going to recommend it.
We're going to talk more about VR. We are now welcome to Steps VR stream, where Steps doesn't even own a VR machine or care about VR, but we have a VR show now.
VR. And now I'm convinced that I have to get a VR, something VR.
Oh, Papa P, you don't have any VR stuff yet?
I have no VR stuff here. It's hard to play like Major League Baseball and television in VR, although I'd be willing to try.
Did you play in television on the VR?
I don't know.
You actually can, because there's things you can do to like make like they have like where you can make like retro game rooms and stuff,
Yep,
and you
yep.
can play retro games and stuff, and Brooklyn and I talk all the time about the arcade time capsule, which is the big arcade where you can go
that'll
in
blow
and
your
play.
mind.
Oh,
So
it's insane.
let me tell you something about the arcade time capsule. Like when I was together with my family on Thanksgiving, like I always like talk about VR. So I'm sitting down with everyone, and I put my video on when I went through the arcade time capsule on my channel, and I started showing everyone. I was like, hey, check out this arcade that I went to. And everyone's looking at it like, wow, that looks awesome. And I was like, do you notice anything about it that looks different? They're like, no. I'm like, do you know that this is virtual reality? They're like, get out of here. That's not real. I was like, no. Because I was in, you know which one I was in. I was in the barcade at that one. You know how realistic that looks.
Yes, sir.
It's insane.
Very realistic. It's insane. You can literally see like the smudges on the screen, and the CRTs. They have flickers, and it's so real. It's insane.
And they have like a little console section in that barcade too, in the back. I haven't been back in that recently, and I know they've done a lot of updates. And you were telling me that they were going to add pinball as well to that.
Yeah, they're looking to add pinball, and he's also said that he wants to do he wants to make it bigger, because there's more floors and stuff that we can't access yet. There's how there's some of the floors that are grayed out, but yeah, he's still working on it, and he's one guy working on it, and it's fantastic. He's
and it's
doing
free. You just have to
100% free. Yeah.
You just have to move the files to where they need to go. And when I walk through that arcade, all the different arcade rooms, you know that the person making this is a fan of games, because some of the games that he had in there were stuff that's like, I thought I only knew about those. And
Jungle Hunt.
Everything.
Jungle Hunt is in there. Let's just dog and all that stuff.
I walked through and I didn't even, the games are there. I couldn't actually play them, but you just have to basically have the ROM and slide it where it needs to be into a folder, right? And then that game will be active playing that ROM.
Yeah, and you can play with whatever arcade deck you have. So Papa Brad, you could like connect say like a deck. If you have a deck where you normally play arcade games, you could connect that deck to your PC. So like if you got like the Act Games, the Act Games deck, you connect that to your PC, and it'll sync up with your VR, and then you can have it where, and especially if you put your deck like on a pedestal or something, it's almost like you're in an arcade. You can walk right up to it. You can walk right up to the machines and play them authentically.
It's crazy. I was in there for over an hour, and when I came out, it was like, I really felt like, I was like, well, why do we need any of this stuff? Like I can literally go to play any arcade game I want right here in my house and really feel like I'm there. It's nuts. Yeah. You know that new X Arcade controller that really sparked my interest, especially because they're pushing VR. I've seen people using that for the arcade setup. Another thing that they're doing with that new X Arcade, it has two holders for your Meta 3 controllers, right? When you put those in there and you press the button, it syncs up exactly to where you are now standing with that controller, and it puts an arcade cabinet in front of you. You can either be in a complete virtual reality, or you can do it in MR and set that arcade cabinet up in your house. And then you can play all your ROMs on it, and you're actually playing with an arcade controller, and your hands are right where they should be.
Love it. On
the cabinet. So you get the full feeling. So man, I wish they sent me one of those out for review. I see they've been sending them out to like everybody. But I just never ask any companies for reviews, but with all the virtual reality stuff I do, and a lot of, I may not be like the highest viewed channel in VR, but
I'd love to see
a lot of people onto VR.
You should get it. You should get it for sure, because that's
if you have the passion, man, they'll send it to you, because that'll just make things grow. I mean, right? and you love it. So
yeah, because I wouldn't just do a one-time video. I'm an editor, so I can do a highly produced video.
yeah,
But
yeah,
the thing is that it would be integrated into constant play. It wouldn't just be a one-time deal. I'd be using it and if I like it, I'm going to promote the hell out of it.
there you go. Yeah, that's good. And sometimes you got to just step up, say, "Oh, I don't want to ask," but sometimes that's just how you start. You ask, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I know that's my thing. I never ask anybody for anything. So.
yeah. Well, in that when you're playing that game, that's just one of the things I think you have to do is talk to people, and because the chances of them finding you and you step up, put your hand up, and they find you, and all of a sudden you got something really good happening, man.
Some developers have found my channel and they wound up coming in while I was playing their game, and they were like
Awesome.
having a great time watching me play their stuff. Two developers for smaller VR games. They both subbed to my channel.
Right.
Yeah, one was in there one night while I was playing live.
I see that a lot on. I think Steps. You've seen Jeff. Go Jeff, who's on my streams all the time, and he does a lot of indie games for Switch. And he's talked to so many developers, and then guys making the games, and they get hold of them and say, "Got a new one coming out." They'll send them codes and stuff. It's just great, just great. It's sort of neat, to be playing that game, and the person who made the game is watching you. That's pretty cool. It's got to be, isn't it?
Yeah.
Brooklyn.
Yep. I'm on my channel right now just because I forgot the name. Oh, here it is. So another great light gun. It's like super fast paced. It's called Dead Second. It's on PlayStation VR 2 and it's also on Meta. I highly recommend that one if you like light gun games. You can kind of blow through the whole thing in a few hours, but it's so intense, and I had so much fun with that game.
Papa Brad's gaming. Papa Pete, your game collection is sick.
Yeah, Papa Pete, don't you do the shorts where you always do a numbered Xbox cartridge?
I do, and that's what I was saying to you guys.
I always see those.
Cut off at the N64. It's no, it's Xbox. Really, my cutoff is Xbox. I don't have much newer than that. I have all the systems. I just don't play them. And I'll be quite honest. I've played the Xbox. I had one 25 years ago. Well, 20 years ago, whatever it was. And I had 20 games. I get into this about 6 or 7 years ago. And man, what a great friggin' system this Xbox is. And they're back there now, and I'm within it's very difficult to say how many games there are, but I consider myself having actually completed it now, the system. I haven't opened them all yet. I've got to do a couple of videos, but I do those. I don't know what got me started to do that, but I just thought it was neat. And now I'm going to start doing gameplay ones. So,
you know what? People love shorts. People don't have long attention spans for anything anymore. So the shorts are a big hit, and they actually can draw a lot of people to your channel.
It's just
what games does your cat like the most, Papa Pete?
What's that?
What games do your cat like the most, Papa Pete? That's what Papa
Cat
Brad
Attack by Electro Knight for the Intellivision is her favorite game. There's Coco here. I had another one's in her basket right now. So,
do you have a dog too?
Yeah, Ralph's kicking around. I heard him hollering, or must have been an ambulance going by. He was howling there a few minutes ago.
Yeah. Oh man, yeah. You see, I'm building a bookshelf behind me. I'm gonna start putting stuff on it. Now I'm worried. I'm just all it's gonna lead to is more bookshelves and more games.
I can't keep up with. I can't get enough shelves. I built
Maybe
these.
This is a bad idea. Maybe I shouldn't build the shelf. Maybe I should take it back.
Oh, you got to build shelves. Shelves are fun. Shelves are fun.
Yeah, but then it's gonna just run into buying more games.
They fell.
Steps. I just bought furniture for my Alpha, but it worked. It was just an end table that I happened to see when I was in Walmart, and I was like, you know what? Now that I have the Alpha, I can kind of judge it. This thing will work. It'll fit perfectly right next to my gold in the corner that I had reserved for it. Look at that collection, man.
Oh my god. Oh wow.
It started off just that's a little closet underneath the stairs.
Oh, it keeps going in. That would be my house if I didn't sell all my stuff like years ago.
I put shelves in underneath my stairs in that little closet about 20 years ago and started filling it up. And that's mostly movies and stuff. And
If I was single, that would be my entire house. Like from the second you walked in the door, it'd be video games.
That's
and
what
arcades
happens
everywhere.
that's what happens when you live in
That's
places
sick,
where there's
dude.
nothing to do, like
Sorry.
Canada.
Oh, stop it. Unfortunately, I got too many over there right now under my TV. I got about 50 homebrews or 60.
Oh
Yeah,
my
box too,
God.
Brad. Brad loves Atari. Atari was my first home console that my parents bought for me during the holidays.
It's hard to get box Atari now too. I still love it. Absolutely love it. But space is rough. Price going up. And I do like, some people don't put protectors on them. I still like putting protectors on my games. And it's pricey to get those too, but I get them. They're a lot cheaper up here than they are down in the States, the plastic protectors.
Oh yeah, John Hancock gave me one of those protectors on his game.
Yeah, I got the Intellivision one when I was out there. I talked to him a week ahead of it and did some videos on Block 'em Sock 'em. And I had a friend of mine from Vancouver pick me up a copy down at Portland Retro Gaming. I watched your video when you were out there. It was awesome to see you were there. It's too bad that I was there last year, and I plan on being there this year too. So hopefully you get back out. We can meet face to face.
I would love to go back. It's the coolest convention I've been to. Honestly, they have.
Sure.
I mean, like, it was weird because it was not on my radar of things to do. It's just like I was working on something for Give Kids World Village. I sent a bunch of emails out to a bunch of people, and then I get an email back from them of all, and then they're like, "We're going to give you a booth at the Retro Gaming Convention there in Portland." And I'm like, "What?" Now I end up going. Yeah. And then I look at the roster of people that are there, and I'm like, Happy Console Gamer, my favorite YouTuber ever, is there. Yeah. And I'm like, holy crap. And then you got John Hancock and Riggs and Metal Jesus and Reggie and David Crane and Gary Kitchen and the guy from NBA Jam, Jim Kitzrow. And man, it's something else. That's such a really cool. And I stayed at that hotel right across the street. It was really nice. And
which one?
Eastland? The Best Western. The best.
Okay,
the Eastland. Yeah, that was a good hotel.
That's where we stayed too. It was really nice. The biggest Intellivision get together in the world, frankly, is there at Portland Retro Gaming, and they come in from all over. There were about 30 of us there, and even though I'm 4,000 miles, it's 3,500 miles. I'm far from the furthest that go to that. This year there were some from Australia, Germany, Belgium, all the television guys from the Atari Age Forum. So it's really cool to go and do those things, and meet everybody face to face and have those, what do you got? I was lucky because I went to Vancouver, met up with a few first. We all traveled down together. So I got an extra day each way, got like 5 or 6 days. It was really fantastic to meet these people face to face. Like when you talk today, it's like, I heard Brooklyn. I heard you say you go to too many games, right?
Yeah. I'm local to there.
Oh, that's cool. Cause we went down there 16, 17 and 18. We traveled down. My kid was in Screenwave at the time. Doing stuff.
We'll be there again next year. We're going to do it big next year. So
right on.
A couple of adjoining hotel rooms.
Yeah.
And a bunch of YouTubers will be there.
That's so cool. Yeah. That was like back then. It was like he was hanging out with RGT. The first year we went, Sean had 5,000 subs. And by the third year we went, Sean had like 100,000 subs. And what's he now? He's over 500,000.
Yeah, I ran into RGT there, and then I introduced myself, and he's like, "I know who you are, Brooklyn." I was like,
"Cool."
Like, yeah, I was, because I'm a smaller channel.
Yeah,
I've been a fan of his for such a long time, so it was just like, it was nice to know that he said, "Yeah, I've checked out your channel."
That's so funny. Yeah, Sean's a great guy, absolutely fantastic guy. I blame him for this right here because we were getting ready to go to too many games. I was sitting there, what am I going to collect? I mean, what can I just start getting that's fairly easy to get? I'm not going to say I'm a completionist, but I enjoy having that goal where I can have that big long list of games to start picking stuff up. And he did a video. Here's 11 Xbox games that you should get now because they're going to be backwards compatible and they're going to go up in price. So I wrote that list down, and when I was down there, I told him this is what I'm doing, and those are the games that I got while I was down there. And 900 games later, I've got the set.
Do you keep them in alphabetical order?
Those are in alphabetical order, yeah.
Dude, I'm telling you, I get to the point because I have a lot of physical games, and it's like sometimes I'm buying a new game. I'm like, oh, now I'm gonna have to shift everything to put this one in alphabetical order. It's like a whole process.
Yeah, and like strategies, right? Strategies for collecting. There's two things that I used when I was getting these. After you get so far, like you start trying to get the games after I'm down to the last like 300, let's say, right? I always had the strategy that whatever the most expensive games were, I wanted to try to get those as early as I could because they're going to do nothing but go up. And some of them did. Teen Titans, for example, I paid $60 for at too many games. And what's it worth now? 300 or something like that, right? But other than that, I also tried to get them alphabetically. A part of the thing that made me want to get them, sort of try to pick them up alphabetically on eBay and stuff when I had to do it, is because every time you started moving things around, you got to start pulling out of this shelf and move this direction.
Yeah.
So once you got a certain shelf done, there's right behind me, there's about 80 games per section, and there's 5 sections times 2. So there's 10 sections right here. You'd have a lot of moving around if all of a sudden you picked up a game that started with C right in the middle of it, trying to get filled up. So
you see a game you want that's like A, and you're like, maybe I'll just buy the Z game.
Yeah, or
anything good start with a Z.
I better get
so
all
I don't
the
have to move
A's
everything
first.
over.
Leave that shelf alone at least.
Yeah, but so what I do is I'll have a couple of just like blank boxes and leave them in there almost as spacers, and it's easier. Just pull them out.
That's a great idea.
You got room for a couple of games.
Right on. Right on.
It's getting like that with my Evercade cartridges.
Do you have one of the? Is that an LGN wrestling figure you got back there, or no? What is that over there?
Probably. Well, I got. That's not LGN. This is this is an old one.
Yeah, that's similar, isn't it? That's
George Animal Steel, yeah.
I can't really read the back of it. No, that's LGN.
Yeah.
It's an old one there. The old rubber one. Pick that up at a flea market this summer. Oh, what do you got? What's that one?
Mr. Wonderful, Paul Orndorff.
That's Paul Orndorff.
Oh, rest in peace.
Yeah.
That's cool.
That's my original from when I was a kid.
I like Macho Man too.
Yeah.
Of course, he wrestled back in '78. He was up around this area because it's just north of the WWF territory, which would be Maine, and down in Atlantic had Atlantic Grand Prix, which was a great friggin' video on Atlantic Grand Prix wrestling on there. And like Leapin' Lanny, who ended up being the Genius, and Macho Man Randy Savage, they were the big battle in the summer of '78 up here with their father, Angelo Poffo. And all this, the big story about that whole territory up here, how it was sort of a hidden secret. All the wrestlers, like from Ric Flair, Andre the Giant, they all wanted to come to Atlantic, Canada, and work for Emile Dupre in the summers because it was such a beautiful place, sort of set aside where they could get some privacy and make some money, right? So, love wrestling. I always have loved wrestling.
Yeah. I used to go to all the house shows in Madison Square Garden.
Oh, so cool. So cool.
Early 80s.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, that's the time to go, man. That was the time to go.
I drove an hour and a half in early 2023 to a house show in Champaign, Illinois. And I didn't know at the time, but they had a rematch. It was Bray Wyatt versus LA Knight in that Mountain Dew like pitch black match.
Oh, wow.
And then they had that match, and then the next night they did another town in Illinois, and that next day, that was the last time Bray Wyatt ever wrestled because he died. And so you never know what you're going to get going to some random house show. You might see
crazy.
You might see one of the last matches of somebody famous, you know?
Yeah, Steps. I used to go and take pictures, but back when you had to get the pictures developed.
Yeah.
And I still have all these pictures in like a little scrapbook. Remember like the scrapbooks where you peel the page and it's sticky and you put them in there and then you put the plastic back on top. And I recently found it, went through it. Literally every wrestler I took a picture of is no longer alive. Like from the shows I used to go to.
Yeah,
I've been watching a lot on it's called I think the channel's fairly new. They just put it up there. WWE Vault. And they'll have entire pay-per-views, they're promoting the Saturday Night Main Event with it being on tomorrow night on NBC. and I was watching one. It was a Survivor series from, I don't know what freaking year it was now, early 90s. And I'm sitting there and it's go like, I find it sad to play that game. Oh, he's dead. He's dead. He's dead. Oh, there's one that's alive. Oh, he's, it's like, it's sad.
The #1 VR streamer on YouTube. Good to see you. Good to see you, Mikey.
Mikey Yoon.
Yeah.
Or as Biggie calls him, Mickey.
Is it Mickey or Mikey? I thought it was Mikey.
Mikey.
Mickey's M-I-C-K-E-Y, right?
Yep.
Mickey. Yeah. Yeah. Cool. All right. We've gone for almost 2 hours. Are we done? Are we good?
Yeah, Stabs. I got some VR to play. What's going on?
I don't know. It was a fun time, man.
Absolutely.
Absolutely had fun. Absolutely appreciate everybody stopping by. It's good to have Papa Pete on again. It's been a while. I love stopping by and seeing his channel when I can. I've been working lately, so I haven't been able to see as much. No, there's not, Mikey. There's no light bulb in my room. My light went out, and Brooklyn told me not to turn it back on.
Yeah, you look better with it. I'm used to managing Steps lighting when Steps was part of my show, the Friday Night Arcade Show, and before the show, I'm like, fix your light, do this, fix your camera, put your mic here.
All right, everybody, thank you for coming by.
The big show is about to begin. Everyone, fix your shit.
Appreciate everyone. Appreciate having Brooklyn Menace on again. Zodwriter as per usual, and Papa.
Steps, I would like you to, from now on, refer to me as the #1 VR streamer on YouTube.
All right. Didn't I call you that when I started the show?
I'll have to rewind.
Something like that. Something like that. I think I did. I Papa Pete, the old ass gamer. I did that, and I said the #1 VR streamer or something like that. Something similar. Not that.
They actually mean the VR streamer with 1 viewer, but I'll take that. The #1.
The movie producer Zodwriter. See, I gave you all special intro.
Yeah, there you go.
I did.
Zoddy, you guys back doing the retro show on Saturdays?
The Nostalgia Power, we do that every other week now. So the next one will be not this Saturday, but next Saturday.
Okay.
All right. We will see you all next time. Appreciate you. And hopefully we'll have Papa Pete back to fight Papa Brad and Atari.
Yeah. Hey, we'll do it someday. Yeah. For sure.
Yeah.
Brad?